Anything beats a zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkaline.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you will be.
Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. I am Carolyn Gentle, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. And today we're going to be talking about consequences for health neglect. What are those consequences? Well, we're going to be talking about that today. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. Saturday, we are live. We are live streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. So, please go ahead and share the live out so others can be a part of the conversation. We want to hear back from you, want to hear your feedback. We want to know that you're there. We want to say hey to you and you say hey back. Okay, we want all those things to happen. So, again, thank you all so much for joining us. Again, give the thumbs up and share. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get the party going. I see you there. Hello, hello.
it is great to be here. I'm excited. I don't know why I'm a little extra excited today. It feels really great. We've been doing really well. We are getting more and more people that are paying attention to their health. We understand very clearly how hard it is to stay focused on something that's so important with all the multiple distractions that we have from day to day. I want you today to really, for those, it might be one person out there that really is going to commit or has committed to better health. What is important about health is that it protects our families, it protects our personal life, and it protects our potential um, as a group of people, a community, to be healthier and to be able to convey from generation to generation those things that are important for ourselves and our families. We can't do it if we're not alive. And if we are alive, we can't do it unless we're healthy. So it's really important, and I understand again the arm wrestling that goes back and forth. I've been doing this for decades, and fortunately, I can say that and still be doing it. Sharing the education with everyone because this is important, and this is why I've committed myself to teaching such a very important subject. So today we're going to talk about the consequences. We live the consequences of our decisions. And simply means when we talk about living the consequences of our decisions, we're talking about the things that you do are the things that you the things that you reap because you get back what you put in. So we want to not preach to you, but just to share with you the things that are important for you to do or to think about as we continue on this wonderful way of uplifting ourselves through the thought of healthier living. Okay, so thank you for being here this morning. Really, really glad to see you. We're going to let Kara say what she was about to say. Go right ahead.
I just wanted to go ahead and shout out our our listeners and watchers. I couldn't get that out. um,
Um,
just wanted to just really quickly say hey, hey, hey. Shirley
woo!
saying good morning to you. Thank you, Shirley. Also, Shanizi, hey, how you doing? Says good morning.
Easy.
Happy International Women's Day, March 8th, 2025. Yes.
Yes.
Same to you. Thank you so much. And let's see here. We got Yolanda, Big Mama in the house.
All right, Big Mama.
Dearborn, Michigan. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And I got to shout out Denise Kane as well, saying good morning to you.
Yay!
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I really do appreciate that. Just wanted to give some shout outs.
All
Let
right.
you know
Thank you.
we see you, we are live and we see you.
I'm sure that they really enjoyed that. Um, we're just going to have a moment of silence. And the reason that I want to do this is because Denise, my sister Denise, she has reminded me of so many people that have passed and musicians. You know, you probably can think about one. Roy Ayers is one that just died, and you might have other people that you know. Can you think of anybody, Carrie, that has passed?
Musician,
Vocal.
uh, I'm sorry.
She's a vocalist.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
When
Angie,
Angie
Angie,
Stone.
Angie Stone. Yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's many more too. I think Denise was telling me Marsha Johnson, I believe was, and she's back from the '70s. Of course, Aurora Ayers. I said that, and then there was somebody else that died, but we want to just give a moment of silence just for the respect and thank you. We are definitely um, blessed to have a life to live, and then to be able to have great goals and reach those goals to make the world better. If you're over 50 years old, you should be well into thoughts of legacy. If you're 50 years old and still thinking about going out to the club and who you're going to sleep with this weekend, um, you might want to take another look at your life, check yourself out, and see what kind of uh, constructive or productive sense you're making out of your life. And but we're not going to tell you about your life. We want to give you just some jewels that you can take with you, so that you can definitely make more sense out of this beautiful life. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to see if I can. Yeah, bam. There you go. If everybody can see this, this is one of the things that we know about the consequences of health is that if you eat food that isn't powerful, you're not going to have a powerful result. So this is really important. I'm going to change this here. Kara, let's make ourselves small and let's bring that up the other way. There you go. Good. Thank you. Um, and let me just go here. I'm just going to do a little bit of studio work. There we go. Okay, and let me see. I'm just making just some technical things here, everyone. All right. So first we talk about the consequences, and then okay, the very first thing is that what's your story, and your story may be just convoluted with a lot of stories about why you can't eat. You don't have enough money where you live. There's a food desert. You don't like the store. You don't like what neighborhoods you live in. All of those things. And but what's worse is that you are also avoiding going to the doctor. That's one thing, that avoiding those exams. Food is one thing, but also the physicality is a very, very important part of it. So making sure that you get those exams is super. I can't even express how important that is, because that's something that we don't do enough of. Now, when I say we, especially our Black communities, African American, if you like that better, it is important for us to get these exams. Why? Not because we're Black, not because we're African American, or any other name that you may consider or that you prefer, but it is important because um, we as a people lead, Black women lead in many of these different maladies, illness, infections, and in death. And some of the diseases lead to death, or they threaten our health. So men, the same thing. You know, men, especially Black men, have been leading in heart disease for many, many years now. And we want to change those things. We're not proud to say we're number one in these categories at all. Many people are reactive, and instead of being proactive. I keep saying this over and over, because when we're reactive, we wait for something to happen to us. We don't check ourselves out. We're kind of, we don't share it with anybody, because we don't want anybody to know that we're not Superman or Superwoman. Who would have thought that we're not perfect? So what we do is we end up carrying something perhaps longer than we should carry it. And then what happens is that the risk increases. So we increase the risk of infection and disease. Whereas an examination would help you tremendously by getting there early. I know some people that are medically or scientifically, or just maybe they might be in your family or friends that are proud of you when you take care of yourself, when you say things like, I went and got my exam, this is what happened, I'm waiting 2 more weeks, they're going to send me the results of this or that. That is something to be proud of, because you're taking the step to find out exactly what's going on with you. And you don't have to wait until you're in pain, and you don't have to wait until you are experiencing some symptoms. Go and get checked out. And when you get there, you don't say, yeah, I just wanted, I don't know what's wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I just came to check it out. So doctors are smart enough to say, okay, we give you a general examination. But things that you should, and especially again when you get over 40 years old, you want to know about the men prostate. Women, you want to know about your breast. Are there any lumps there? You want to know about, both of us want to know about our brains. We want to know about our heart health. We want to know about our circulation. And it's really important, because some people walk around with circulation problems and probably should be in a certain type of stocking or sock, so that they can help the circulation of blood, but they don't do it because we don't talk to each other enough about it. Let how you're doing be really what it's saying. How are you doing? Instead of just saying, well, hey, what's happening? Well, hey, what's happening? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? It's just like, what are we doing? Going in the circle. So again, keep in reactive. Remember, reactive does not require thought, and proactive means that you're responding and you're before the fact. So when it comes to healthcare, it's very important to go beyond just reactive. Again, you want to make sure that you do this, and it's important for me to repeat this. It's important that you take care of things before it happens. Before it happens. Just recently, I got what is called a water ablation, and on my the benign prostatic hyperplasia is what the enlarged prostate is called. Now, it was such a shock to me. I was just really surprised, because I'm above fair. I'm above mediocrity when it comes to my health. Not been not bragging about it, but I'm saying that it does work, and it is now. It's very important to know that, because I'm passing it along to you, and feeling great, feeling just incredibly good. I'm not talking about, I'll be, yeah, man, everybody tell me I'm, and the dude is 60 years old. I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about really taking care of yourself, the part that you can see and the part that's invisible to your eye. Is very important that you keep that in mind. On average, men are less likely to see a doctor than women. The Cleveland Clinic conducted a 2019 study that found 72% of men would rather do household chores than visit the doctor. Of the men who did go to the doctor, a portion admitted they weren't forthcoming, either due to the fear of embarrassment or because that they didn't want to hear their lifestyle needed changes. So that is a huge part. Those that finally get to the doctor, they don't really tell the truth. They're not forthcoming. So instead of how are you doing? You're nationwide. Are you? Do you have a strong string? Oh, everything's all right with me. Are you being disturbed through the night? No, no, no. I don't. I sleep all the way through. And the person goes there to appear that all of their health is just excellent, that is perfect, and for the eotropistic reasons, eotropistic is or is etro phobia, where a person is afraid of or they fear white coats and stethoscopes, and if they see somebody with all the ink pens and the costume. So it's all of those things sometimes can really frighten a person. So this is really important to let the doctor know about your lifestyle changes. I prefer to see the doctor, not just anybody. It can be a person in there that assists a nurse, or it can be other people. They have lower responsibilities, and I don't mean to throw shade, but I know that there are different levels, just like wherever you work and wherever you are in your family, there's different levels of responsibility and knowledge. And that's how it is also when it comes to going to get an exam. So keep that in mind. Women, thank you very much for getting, your checkups and setting that example. Regardless of why people skip out on doctor's appointments, here is just a few samples of the screenings that you're missing out on. One is the blood pressure screening. And while I'm reading through this, what I would like for you to do is think about when can you do it to get this done. So blood pressure screening is important because a lot of times it is the secret killer, it is the quiet assassin. And what happens is that people, when you don't understand that you do have it, like people that are eating in such a way that may cause high blood pressure, especially those people that love to put a lot of salty seasonings on their food, and this is not good for anybody. It's not something that anybody escapes, and if it does, it's like out of the 7.5 billion people on the planet, it's probably maybe two people that don't have to worry about salt. Of course, I'm joking, but I'm being serious while I'm joking. Testicular cancer. Testicular cancer is very important. This is when a person gets cancer in their scrotum, your testes. This is something that is super important. I know you don't even want to think about it, but think about this. Suppose you get examined and you find out early enough to save your life. This is really a big important thing. Next, colorectal cancer. You want to make sure that you get checked for colorectal problems. I got my colonoscopy earlier, I forget, I think last year. And that was a very good experience, very professional people. It's all of those things going to go through your mind. Oh, man, wow, if they put you to sleep, are you going to wake up? I mean, We don't know if we're going to wake up when we go to sleep if we're not in the hospital. If we're just in the bed, how many people know? I know I'm going to wake up. You don't know. So stop the silliness. Let's go and get these things done. Colorectal cancer is such, all of my ugly, but colorectal cancer, let me tell you, take some time to read about colorectal cancer, and you will find that you most certainly should go and get an examination, especially when you are like 30 and over. This and then when you do get your colonoscopy and it is in good shape, now you won't have to come back for 10, 15 years. I would stick closer to the 10 because that's when I have to go back 10 years, and I think that that's the max that the doctors give you, and that you go back through it. And in the meantime, what you do, you want to avoid polyps, you want to avoid all of the things like hemorrhoids or anything that could give you pain and difficulty passing your waist. It's really important to find this out early. Okay, so we talked about blood pressure. I didn't stay on this as long as I really should, but we don't have enough time to stay on it too long. But I do want to go back to this because there are many people that I personally know, I personally love, I personally care for that have high blood pressure. Blood pressure screening is very important, and much of it is connected to your anxiety or the stress in your life, and blood pressure screening is important for those that eat a certain way. Like, for instance, again, salty foods, especially those people that is saucing it up all the time, and you're eating meat products. And that is something that you can help yourself with by stop eating those two things or reducing it down to almost nothing or nothing at all. Okay, so when it comes to the salt, the sodium will definitely, it's just like a small explosion in your body when you have things like an aneurysm, for instance, a blood clot. So please keep that in mind. Skin cancer is next, like carcinoma, for instance. People that get skin cancer that stay out in the sun too long without SPF 30 plus. This is really important. You got to, we did that, remember, Care?
Yes.
Not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this that's really important. Um, some of the reasons that the skincare is important, of course, because you can actually start the mutation of your cells, your skin cells, that can become they can spread. So, like, if you get like a benign, or well, let's not even go there yet. But let's think about if you get cancer. Sometimes some things appear to be cancer, but they're not malignant. Uh, but the when and benign is the word that you want to stay. You want to be benign if you are diagnosed positive of having a certain disease, but you don't want it to be cancerous. And you can start right now. Even if you're, like Denise was saying earlier, it's like even if you're, um, you say, God, I'm 30 years old. I'm too old now. It's too late. No, it's never too late. You
Mm-hmm.
start right now where you are, and you do all that you can from where you are. Cholesterol level test is next. Now, cholesterol is very important because it is the vehicles in which our vitamins and minerals also travel to different parts of the body to keep different parts of the body nice and healthy. Of course, we've been feeling that cholesterol, we want to keep cholesterol less than 200. You want to be less than 200 when it comes to your number. So make sure that you take care of that. And again, reduce or eliminate animal products from your diet, and you will see that it makes a difference right away. It's very important that you take out time to check yourself out, what you're eating, how much you're eating it, and how you're preparing it. And we get way too much. I don't care if it's grilled or if it's baked or if it's fried. You want to make sure that you find out how it's affecting you. And believe me, the meat has not been given a clear report on all of the effects of it. But what we do know, and that we've gotten from CDC, is that the meat can be very dangerous, and it can be in the same categories as other dangerous foods that are ingested or potentially ingested. Then diabetes, type 2 diabetes, especially, is definitely increasing. And we're constantly eating the food that will cause it. We don't want to take all the fun out of your eating, but eating too much, especially people that are eating dessert like it's going out of style. We want to make sure that you are eating just enough to appease the it's not to get full. You don't eat the whole pie or the whole custard or all the pudding. You just eat enough to say, that's really good. Kara, what you think about that?
No, I agree. And you can definitely fall into that trap of wanting to eat a whole lot, especially when you bring it and put it in front of you. That whole thing, you just don't realize you're just doing this, and next thing you know, there's just one cookie left. you know.
Right.
So now I understand that for sure.
Yeah, that is a trip. How we just say we make sure. Sometimes, I mean, it's a kind of combination of things like that plate that makes a person think that, you know what, some people can't even afford this, or some people can't even eat this, or you know what, we're paying all this money for it, we got to eat it. It's like you make yourself sick. A person will make themselves sick before they leave the food there.
Hmm.
Or of course they say, here, yeah, I want to go ahead, I want to take this home with me. And a person goes home and then eats the rest of it at home. Or they continue with the next meal, or they, like the carrot cake, or like red velvet cake, or I don't care if it's bean pie. I used to be a bean pie fanatic. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, where the number one mosque in Detroit, Michigan, and of course those of you here like Big Mama from the Motor City. Big Mama's out in Dearborn now, but that's just right next door to Detroit. It's really a beautiful place in many ways. And I'm sure even people that live in places like Chicago and Cincinnati and Indianapolis and Philadelphia, New York, all of those places, I'm sure, although they talk about how terrible they are, but there's some beauty that's in all of them. Um, Glaucoma. Now, glaucoma is a eye disease, and you'll hear some people say glaucoma, and this is really important to check on your eye health and make sure that you haven't absorbed some kind of uh, pain or injury to your eye younger, and you haven't checked it out since. Make sure you get your eyes checked, because they're very precious. And the eyes are directly connected to your brain, very sensitive. And of course, the importance of sight. Breast cancer screening is super important, making sure that you take time to uh, check your breast out. Men, we get it too, although there's a very slim chance of a man getting breast cancer. Men get breast cancer also. So again, healthy people reduce the risk of disease. Healthy people reduce the risk of illness. Healthy people reduce the risk of dying prematurely. Okay, all of
Mhm.
us die, but let's when it's that time, we want it to be right now. We it's a sad occasion. Everybody cries and we mourn. Well, I don't think that that's going to ever stop, and I think that that if that's the way that you respect or you love or you show your love and all that, who am I to say change it? Do what you feel needs to be done. But it's important to also know that we have a responsibility to people that love us, that we take care of our bodies. If you're married, you want to make sure you take care of yourself for you, but you also want to be there for that person that loves you to no end. You are his everything, and she is your everything. You see that? It's really important, okay? Let's go to heart scan. Getting the heart scan is super important, just like getting a brain scan. Find out what's going on. There's a lot of mental health problems that people have today. And guess what? People are just saying, well, he crazy. I mean, take that energy and go get a brain scan. Find out what is going on, an EEG. Go and find out if there's something that you should know right now about your heart. I'm sorry, about um,
Brain.
your brain scan early, right? So please do that. Cervical cancer screening. This is really important for females. Make sure you take care of that. Women, take care of that. Now, I'm going to be using women and females, so I don't mean to, um, you know, make anybody or disrespect anybody, because I know there's a proper way to say it, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. But when I look at a woman, I look at a person that is also responsibility for taking care of herself from head to toe. And we can also start with good hygiene practices. Good hygiene, men and women, good hygiene practices. You can pretty much picture what I'm talking about when I'm saying that. Um, Again, we talked about some of these things. Like we started off, we talked about diabetes, and diabetes may not always present obvious symptoms, allowing this disease to go undetected without regular checkups. Untreated diabetes leads to chronic high blood sugar. So those chronic high blood sugar levels are what we talked about, and we don't want that. So because those levels are ultimately contributing to heart disease, stroke, or issues with your eyes, diabetic retinopathy. Diabetic retinopathy is definitely a part of the vision loss process. We talked about this before, that diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is the number one disease that causes loss of vision, blindness. So it's really important to keep that in mind. Also, excessive sugar can cause strokes. It can cause heart disease. All of those things can definitely change your level and quality of life. Now, these problems are caused by damage of important blood vessels that your body needs to function. Untreated diabetes can also lead to kidney damage that requires dialysis or kidney removal. Now, it can also cause chronic nerve damage that heightens your risk of amputation. Remember, we talked about this before, that the hyperglycemia or high blood sugar can cause also amputations. And you like start off with a toe, and then two toes, and then a foot, and then your leg, up to your knee, or sometimes even more. So we want to be sure that you pay attention to this and do something about it. Routine checkups with your doctor will allow you to control and manage blood sugar levels to avoid these long term complications. You want to find out about it and then do something about it. I'm going to stop for right now so we can get a reset, and we'll continue after this wonderful reset.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. And thank you to everyone that's joined us here in the Mind of Nature. Today, we're talking about consequences for health neglect. And just going to the comments, let's see. Michelle says, early detection saved my life. I'm a 10-year thriving survivor. Praise God. Yes. I love that.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's my love. That's my sister right there. She's really, really been, wow, such a great example to me. And the thing she does is just incredible, and all the time that she puts in other people and her that's her family and people that love her back, her loved ones. She still deals with being a very wonderful and inspiring person to other people. Even she doesn't act like she deals all the stuff she deals with is incredible. So thank you for sharing that, Michelle. Because this is something that I don't want to see, you don't want to see. And when you talk about breast cancer or any of these existential, these different diseases, that it's not like it's your fault. It's not even like they got people that eat like wonderfully and they still have disease. You have people that work out, but they still have physical problems. You have people that didn't have any problems during their birth and they still have different problems. So it's really important for you uh, to do all of these things that we're talking about, but learn more about yourself. That the breast cancer, that's a very serious disease. Colon cancer, all of these diseases are very important, and some are irreversible. You see, and that's the thing. You got things that oh man, I'm glad. Do you know you got people that have these different diseases? They go in for an operation, the correction is made, and before they even get off that table, they're thinking about how they can do this very thing that brought them there in the first place.
Yeah.
Like smoking, like eating a certain way, like the lack of exercise, like injury, all of those things. They'll it's incredible how people just kind of live loose with their lives. Go ahead, Care, and do your thing.
No problem. I know you're passionate about the information, so I just let you do your thing. Just more shout outs. I just wanted to say hello to Not Your Average Joe podcast. Has excellent information. Thank
Yo,
you, Joe, for joining us here. You had something to say?
no, I was saying Joe. That's my brother. I mean, I feel like everybody's so family because everybody here, practically everybody here, I got a long history with, and this is really incredible. Sometimes it sprinkles in a little bit, but I mean, today is really great. I'm really grateful that everyone's here, and thank you for taking time to think about you.
Yes, absolutely. And Darcel says good morning, and I really like that the icon that they have there next to the name. It's nice
Oh,
and colorful. It shows up and it pops.
oh,
James
nice.
James Norman, great information. Dr. Zarif and Sister Carolyn, health is wealth. Thanks for sharing and keep it coming. Will do. Thank you so much, James Norman. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that is commenting. I love to see the comments and know that you're there and hear your feedback. So just love it. Dr. Zarif, I'm gonna let you go ahead and continue on. I know there's more to share.
All right. Thank you so much, Care. The good news is simple changes such as diet, exercise, and certain medications. Not only that, your environment, like who are you around? What are you listening to? Who's influencing you? What are you doing with your life? So we know that there's a lot of complications in life, but there's so many opportunities and possibilities also. So keep your mind on the things that make your life better. Now, as I continue to go over these stats, that I wanted to remind you that if you're over 40 years old and you have and have those risk factors such as diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, um, I recommend that you just take if you don't have like your um, insurance, your medical insurance, find a clinic that you can start off getting like different scans and screenings, and this will be a really great um, chance for you to find out where your again that balance. You keep seeing me do this is like my like my friend Danny. He you know that Kara is laughing because she knows him. That's too. That's my guy. And this is really important to get you a screening, get you an examination. Just don't go over like I know my friend is a nurse, or I know my friend. I got a friend that is a doctor and all that. That's great, but you need to have also the apparatus, the correct apparatus to do the checking of your health. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead. Oh, and I wanted to add to that, even if it was when I said clinic, because sometimes you might have an urgent care center. 85%, about 85% of all of where we go to today is not the hospital, but they're urgent care centers.
Hmm.
Um, so an urgent care center is like a small hospital. So it's good to go there, ask questions. Do you all do this? I want to get my brain checked. I want to get my heart checked. All of those things. If you are a person that has abused yourself in the past, there might be damage done. If you've taken drugs or alcohol, or you eat these foods that may cause high blood pressure and stroke, heart conditions, all of those things, today is the day to start. Simple as that. Write the stuff down. This is the first thing you're going to do. I'm not expecting, and I know you're not expecting for you just to bam, alakazam is gone, because it took you time to accumulate that ritual or that belief or that habit or that addiction. So you want to take your good look and good focus on the things that you need to do. And remember, one step at a time. One step at a time. If you're smoking 4 cigarettes a day, we're going to reduce that down to 3.5. Break it off, 3.5. And
Yeah,
then you go on so that you can get more familiar with your personal strength, what's happening in you, your personal strength. And that might be something that nobody knows about you, that you got this personal strength that's enough to go beyond just being sick. Okay.
absolutely. I just want to point this out right here. Velma Vigil says, don't forget sometimes to get a second opinion too, as far as when you're going to the doctor and different things like that. So I want to point that
Absolutely.
out. Hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vilma. Yeah, absolutely. It's really Vilma. You look great in class today. I mean, the other last weekend, the workout was really good. You looking better and better, getting stronger and stronger.
Hmm.
So then Vilma is here too. I'm talking to all my folks out here. This is great. Like I love it. I love it. So yeah, get that second opinion when you like if somebody says you got to do this and you got to do that, or they say something that's like really that makes you a little afraid. Make sure do your due diligence. Check out, find out exactly what's going on with you. Now, since Vilma is here, what I want to do is she's reminding me that all of us we need to start getting together. I'm telling you, I'm inviting you. We're inviting you to come out to Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church, we're not working out in the church where the pews are. We're in a purpose room, everybody, for those people that reach their own conclusions. Like, don't worry if we got, it's really great. It's very secure. We got a lot of room, a lot of ventilation. We do a presentation on uh, your nutrition, and we have a great workout every time we
Yes.
get it done. So if you can't walk, and even if you in a wheelchair, roll on in because we got chairs for you to sit in, or I'll show you how to keep in shape right there in your chair. I'm telling you, like, when I was 20 years ago, I wanted to have all the finest ladies in Los Angeles come to the workout, and that was, I like, yeah, we got the finest women, that whole thing. Today I'm not, like, that's 30, I'm 30 years older than I was then, and now I'm doing a thing that's called saving lives, getting people to look deeper and closer to what you're doing to make your life better. So, woo, I'm happy today. I'm just feeling great, and this is important that we have these regular checkups, and this will allow your doctor to monitor your different conditions that they may find out, and keep these situations from becoming problematic. Cancer is another one. Cancer is that not scheduling the screening appointments or annual checkups can be detrimental. For example, early detection of the localized breast cancer um, uh, uh, that hasn't spread outside the breast has 99% 5-year survival rate. So I'll say that again. That scheduling and screening appointments and the annual checkups can be detrimental. For example, the early detection of localized breast cancer that hasn't spread outside the breast has a 99% 5-year survival rate. Now, if it goes undetected, it reaches an advanced stage, that survival rate decreases to just 28%, from 99% in the 5-year survival rate all the way down to 28%. You got to go get checked up, ladies. I'm sure everybody here, can agree that your body is your body, and your body is your responsibility. But your responsibility to your body is also capitalizing on a really wonderful relationship with other people that love you, that other people that respect you, your children, your loved ones. You want to make sure, or not meant your, like, more spouse or your significant others. I said children and your loved ones. It sounds like, what about the children? So cancer, again, this of course is very important. It's urgent that you go and check out. Make sure you're checking your breast the way that you're supposed to feel the different areas of your breast, to make sure that everything is a-okay there. And again, if you're smoking, gotta start on your way out of that habit by doing little by little and getting out there. There's many programs that you can get in also, and get help with that. You can't do it by yourself. For
Yes.
those of you that think that you got it, Carrie, you
Yeah.
want to speak on that?
Yeah, just about smoking because I have a coworker who he stopped smoking, but then I don't know who if he got advice or maybe he thought about it on his own, but then he started vaping. But then he said that that was even worse as far as vaping because it
Yeah.
was just more accessible to him. He doesn't even have to step outside; he can just be at his desk, so that was worse. So whenever you're as far as smoking, just kind of consider or talk to a professional and see what the best way is to do that. Because if you make that decision to go the vape route, that's actually worse because again, it's more accessible to you. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you so much. That's really worth hearing. Um, the other things that we can keep in mind is your mental health disorders, women's reproductive health concerns, osteoporosis. And remember, this is most osteoporosis, lordosis, and kyphosis. All of these are different diseases of your vertebrae or your vertebrae column, and this can really cause osteomalacia, the softening of the bones. And people that also can get another one, rickets, and rickets can definitely cause you to your body slowly break down and not be balanced, not strong enough, and very fragile. Okay. Um, you before I go on, you want to read any new? I just saw a couple of
Oh,
so. Well,
yeah, I was just putting up there on Not Your Average Joe podcast. Says, love your energy and enthusiasm today, Doc.
oh, thank you.
And
Yeah, brother, that's my brother for that's my brother right there. I um definitely feel great, Joe, because this, and I'm sensitive today. Like we always talk about women being sensitive. Like when I start talking, I really get into my passion. And I feel that my lip is getting ready to quiver. I'm like, all right, break it, relax. Because like when I was talking about, my sister, Michelle, that it just makes me very sensitive, because this is a sister that I truly love, and I love the way that she treats her husband, that she treats her family, and how she deals with some really incredible situations and continue living with a smile, and she's just awesome. So anyway, yeah, Joe, I feel great today. Another, we talked about osteoporosis, sexually transmitted diseases. A lot of people don't. We used to talk about these STDs a lot. That would be the thing that we talked about. And then when we had even more serious diseases come out, you don't hear that much about these diseases, but guess what? They are still everywhere. Even syphilis can be confused with a run of a mill illness, because a sore throat or a rash are two main symptoms of syphilis. So if you get like a sore throat and you're getting a rash, a lot of times people kind of like, I'll be all right. If these STDs remain untreated, you increase the risk of reproductive health problems, chronic pain, pelvic inflammatory disease, birth defects, and miscarriages. So this is not something that you play with, or this is something that you kind of put to the side, or you buy a panty liner and think that is all over. No, you got to go and get yourself checked out. We are grown here, so there it is. All right. Now, how often should you uh, visit your doctor and go get a checkup? But if you don't remember the last time that you went to your doctor, when it was probably time for you to go, you waited too long. Now, if in general, you should see the primary care physician that is appointed to you, or one that has been selected for you for a general checkup, and you want your blood work. Here's the thing: make sure you understand what they're talking about before you leave that office. Don't leave the office just saying, okay, I got you, I understand. If you don't understand, get some understanding. For wellness visits, your doctor will check your cholesterol levels, your blood pressure, immune system health, and kidney and liver function. This is so important. Why not go and get this checkup? Because you would get all of this done. This is also a time when you can mention any lingering medical and mental health problems. If necessary, they can refer you to a specialist. And that to me is what a good doctor is, not one that thinks he or she knows everything, but has the professionalism to say, I can refer you, that's beyond my scope. Okay. All right. So also, I'm going to go on past that because I really want to get to some things here. The health of the Black or African American or non Hispanic population. The United States, especially now, I'm speaking about the United States because we are in a very dense political atmosphere. Uh, that the United States is home to stark and persistent racial disparities in health coverage. Now, chronic health conditions, mental health, and mortality. Remember, when you're thinking about chronic health, that's not like the regular stuff. Chronic health is like the injuries and the illnesses and diseases that will be with you for a while, even a lifetime. These disparities are not a result of individual or group behavior, but decades of systematic inequality in American economic, housing, and healthcare systems. Now, systemic, when you hear the word systemic, is talking about the inclusion of all of our organs, all of our systems. It happens systemically. That happens within all of our systems. Systematic means that the function or the steps, the fundamentals of which something works, that is systematic. So when you hear, for instance, racism is systemic and systematic, that's why you hear it like that. Okay. Um, Back to African Americans and Black. Okay, I'm going to shoot it up, everybody. Listen, I mean, ooh, that sounds yucky, didn't it? But I'm going to move faster here. But I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this before we go. The African Americans and Black Americans and African. I wanted to put this down because it's Negroes, Afro Americans, is African Americans, is American Africans. All of this a mixture of so this may help out a little bit. An African American or Black person is any individual with total or partial ancestry from uh, any of the Black racial groups of Africa. An African American or Black person is any individual with total or partial ancestry, and that's when we're looking at our who we're related to, our might even genetically our relationship to people, our family tree, uh, and this is from any Black racial groups of Africa. Now, in 2017, 10.6% African Americans were uninsured compared to 5.9% of non-Hispanic whites. So when you look at these numbers again, we suffer. These are Black and brown people. 89.4% of African Americans had health care coverage in 2017 compared to 93.7% of white Americans. So you got 89.4% and 93.7% coverage there. And I have to say that seems to be an increase now because the activists and other your doctors, your teachers, and other professionals are making sure that they're alerting you to the importance of what you heard today. So that's super important. I'm going to stop right there because that's our time for today. Really thank you all for being here today. Care?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all so much for being here. Like Dr. Zari said, always great information. It's always great to hear, like I said, back from everyone. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, please do so. It's Dr. Farid Zarif. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate everyone being here. We're here 8 a.m. Pacific time every Saturday. So thank you all so much for joining us, Dr. Zarif.
I want to remind you that we know you can check us out and get more information. Even these type of presentations are available on YouTube at the Dr. Farid Zarif channel. You just search it; these will pop up, and it's really a great service you would do to yourself for yourself. Because this information is something that can perhaps help you on to a more healthier life. Care?
All right. That's it. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you here next weekend, again, 8 a.m. And you've been in the Mind of Nature. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.